what do you remember about last year?
Glad that we lost really pretty bad. The game was kind of over from the start to finish. But we remember, and we plan to make a different outcome this year.
How much does that motivate you this time around?
A lot. I think about this game for quite a bit now. Even before it came up, it was one of the games I remembered after the season was over.
What's different about you? I mean, it's a different team, obviously, player-wise. Was there anything mindset approach different going in this year than it was a year ago?
I never really compare teams from last year and this year, but I will say we're a much better team now going into this game than we were last year. I feel like we're more connected. We're more of a well-rounded team, and we kind of got our identity already. And we're really better than last year.
What do you think has been key to being more connected? What has led to that, in your opinion?
Just how we practice, how hard we practice each practice, how we can communicate with each other on and off the court, and just our relationships. I feel like that plays a big role.
You two have maybe thought a lot about last year's game. Was it just the margin, or was there something else about it that stuck with you?
Like Coach Brad said, we just didn't show up. We didn't show up at all, but like I said, man, it's like the margin too. But it's gonna be different this year.
What did you make of bragging rights last year?
I didn't really know much about it last year. Until the game, and I found out a little bit about it media day, but I didn't really know much about it last year, but I know all about it now.
What stands out to you about the experience, right, of having both sides there in a unique environment?
It's pretty dope. It's split half and half with Mizzou fans and Atlanta fans. It's been a long rivalry. I still can do more research about the history of it, but I kind of get the meaning and what it means to our fans and their fans.
I mean, is that something you have to experience to really understand it? Because you've got a lot of guys this year that it's going to be their first as well.
This year, I'm gonna make sure I want the guys to feel like I felt going into. Want to feel how I feel going into this game, like they were a part of the team last year. So, Coach Brad's doing a pretty good job of reminding us what happened last year. So we come out with an edge coming into the game tomorrow.
I imagine you've heard about Coach Frazier's record in this game.
Can you refresh?
I mean, I think he's pretty proud of his. I think he's 4-0 in this. Does he bring it up a lot? I'm guessing not.
Nah, he don't really bring it up. Coach Frazier's pretty humble, man. He talk his talk, but most of the time he pretty humble, and he like to just come from the, you know what I'm trying to get to. He don't really bring up when he won a lot.
For people that aren't familiar either with the bragging rights game or the game in general, what's it like? What was that game like last year? Kind of, especially at the end, just kind of sitting there on the bench and watching that game.
It wasn't good last year. We were losing pretty bad. I can hear some of our fans booing and hearing the Mizzou chants. But yeah, man, I heard a few stories about what happens going on in the game and what happens in the crowd and how much it means. Like I said, how much it means to our fans. So it's a pretty big deal.
Coach talked about your defensive presence out there. Where's that, I guess, work ethic, consistency come from to take a leap on that side to kind of pair with what you're able to do offensively?
I mean, I feel like it's something I always done pretty well was play defense. That's been my identity. And I feel like the offense is a plus for me. I feel like everything starts on the defensive end. But just being consistent with me watching film, knowing my matchup, knowing how other guys move on the other team, what are their go-to moves, how they get their baskets and whatnot, and be successful on the offensive end. So that just plays a role, and then me just being connected with my teammates. I feel like we talk a lot on the defensive end, and we're really connected as a one. So once I always start on the ball, so it starts with me, but it's all the other guys like Coleman and Marcus being in help, Ty getting the rebounds. So we're pretty good. My teammates, they're just as good as the defenders as me, so they make me a good defender talking to me also.
Yeah, I guess a third of the way through the season, with 10 games in, just what have you seen maybe from Dre and Amani just in their first years kind of tackling all that is college basketball?
They don't play much, but I mean, like they go at us in practice. Monty, I think he leads practice and rebounds almost every day. Dre, he goes at us being the best player on the other team, him and Sincere. But those two, like they're patient. Like they're waiting when their time comes, and I know they're ready every time their name is called. But they've been really good. They've been listening, taking in from the older guys, listening to the coaches, watching film, and it's been really good players for us.
What's Sincere like on a scout team?
Sincere, he's been causing a lot of havoc in practice, man. He's been really, really good in practice on the defensive and offensive end. I mean, he's getting better. Really better, a lot better. But he's been really good this year in practice, putting a good scout. So we got a real good scout team with him leading it for us this year.
You guys only play a couple of games here in the last few weeks of December. Like, what are these last few weeks before you get into the Big Ten meeting for you guys, and what can you build in that practice time?
It means a lot. I think we got 2 more games until January. Plan to go 2-0. The 29th, it'll be warm-up game, getting us, not a warm-up game, but like a game tuning us back up from our break. Yeah, man, it's one game at a time, you know. Our next game is our biggest game, and that's Missouri. I don't really like looking ahead. I know we have ahead of us, but just focusing on the next game. That's how I'm really focused right now.